Good evening, everyone. I am Lisha Dore, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to One-on-One, where we bring to you some of the best minds in Trinidad and Tobago. There are 9 days left until Christmas, so the countdown is officially on. The lights are up all over Trinidad and Tobago, and the festive energy is everywhere. So tonight we are ending the year by speaking with an organization that is truly in the thick of Christmas activity, the Sour Business Association. And we are very pleased to welcome back to our platform the president of the Sour Business Association, Mr. Abraham Ali. Firstly, Mr. Ali, we would like to extend a special congratulations to you on being re-elected as president of the Sour Business Association at your AGM in November. And we also want to extend heartfelt congratulations to your entire board of directors on their election and continued service. We are also expected to have later on in the program the newly appointed PRO of the Business Association, Dr. Joseph Crooks. So we definitely are looking forward to hearing from him. I also must send a special shout out to my friend and your international trade director, Mr. Alim Mohammed, who is a regular and very valued contributor to this program. I believe he's online with us. So Alim, thank you for joining us, all your support, etc. You know, I had to hail you out tonight.
Yes.
It's always a pleasure to have the Sour Business Association on our platform. So we welcome input from yourselves as well as your wider knowledgeable membership. Now, the last time, Mr. Ali, that you would have joined us, believe it or not, would have been in early June. So we're looking at 6 months. That's half a year already, believe it or not. That is how quickly time flies. And tonight, we're really looking forward to catching up on what's been happening over the past 6 months with you all. So there are a few key areas I am hoping to explore this evening. Firstly, we want to talk about Christmas and the business climate. How is the season shaping up for the business community and also for consumers? And this is especially in light of the recently announced 10% salary increase and back pay for the public servants. Now, we would expect that this would stimulate economic activity. So we really wanted to find out if the businesses are really beginning to feel that impact of that 10% salary increase and back pay for the public servants. Right? Another area I am hoping to touch on is crime and in general business safety in Sawa. I saw from your social media pages that the Sawa Business Association, you would have recently worked alongside the TTPS on a Christmas crime prevention rollout. So this is something that I would like to hear more about. You know, how does it work? What has the response been? And whether that is something beneficial that could be expanded to other communities. Of course, I'm assuming, well, not assuming, it has to be that this initiative was aimed at keeping businesses and customers safe during this busy Christmas season, right? But overall, how is crime in the area? Have we seen a reduction in criminal activity in the community? So that's the second thing I'm hoping that we could touch on. Another thing, time permitting, of course, is the foreign exchange challenges. The last time we were on the program, yourself and Mr. Siram, you all had a heated exchange on Forex. I don't know if you remember, but it got very,
I
very
do, I do.
yes, right. So we just want to find out, has there been any progress, any reprieve in the Forex shortage, particularly for small and medium-sized enterprises? And of course, anything you would like to share up with us about the association, looking back, looking ahead, what have you been up to over the last 6 months? What are some of the plans for the future? So that's more or less my wish list. Of course, I expect that my co-moderator and others who are joining in, and even you yourself, Mr. Ali, you will have more to add as we go along. Right? So I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our viewers who are joining us on Zoom. And social media, we are live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So please share the live. We are absolutely thrilled to have everyone here with us tonight. As always, we want to make this program interactive, so please participate. Raise your hand if you want to make a contribution. Use the chats for your questions and comments. And without further ado, I would now like to pass the mic over to my co-moderator, Donnie, who will give us his opening remarks and start off our conversation.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, Lisha. Good night and welcome to our guest, Mr. Ali. It's a pleasure to have you on again. I know we normally have very spirited discussions when you are here. And to your Director of International Relations and Trade, Ali Mohammed, congratulations, my brother. Good to see you in a position like that. And we look forward to a wonderful discussion tonight. I think, Lisha, you have summed it up, what we are looking to discuss tonight. Basically, I would like to get some sort of information on how the last 6 to 8 months was, how it is leading up to Christmas, and what are the plans for next year by the San Juan Business Association. We know you all are very progressive. You guys lead by example, so we would like to use this opportunity to get what you all have planned for 2026 with regards to the association that you govern, and let's take it from there. So over to you, Mr. Ali. The mic is all yours.
Yes, I thank you for inviting me tonight. And as you say, we look forward to a meaningful discussion, one that will lend support to the business community.
Mhm.
First, let's talk about the economy, and let's talk about the economy for the past 6 months. For the past 6 months, the economy has been declining steadily, and it has declined tremendously between November and these first 2 weeks in December. And I think what is happening is the expectation from the business community with the inflow of money has not been realized. And because of the jobs that were being lost, CPEP, URP, deforestation departments, all these jobs, and the threat of losing more jobs has been having an impact on the economy. So much so that the persons who are carrying enormous amount of goods with the hope to have a good sales for Christmas, which should have been starting a week ago, has not materialized. And that is so because all we hear is about some employment coming back on stream, some new investments, but nothing has really happened. We did hear about the 10%. I don't think the rollout of that 10% has started. We are still hoping that sometime in this week, some people get some money and some inflow of businesses will at least benefit from that kind of spending that we expect to have. But it has not started. It definitely has not started. The supermarkets sales are still down. The stores, the haberdashery stores, where you sell the furniture store is not doing too well. All around, the community has suffered a lot of losses. And that is the case right now. Now, when you look at some of our initiatives with working and understanding what could happen with our business sector, we have decided to partner with the police and to have their rollout effective where they have increased foot patrols and they are now initiated army and police patrol throughout the San Juan area. That has impacted tremendously in securing our business sector and in securing the community as well. People feel safer to be around when there are visible police around the business sector. And we have been experiencing that. And I would like to say that kudos to the police. I am not sure if it is overall throughout the country, but I could tell you in San Juan, we have been seeing uh, extra patrol and extra policemen on the ground. And we thank the Northeastern Division, the senior superintendent in charge, Guy Allen, who's a woman, and she's doing a wonderful job in keeping the community safe. So hats off to her. When we look at the forex situation, that is a situation, as Ms. Lisha Doris said, 6 months ago we spoke on that, and I kept saying since then that it wouldn't change. And the only change we have now is you have less foreign exchange available to the national community. So it has been declining steadily. Some banks don't have the foreign exchange to give. Some banks has cut their limits tremendously. And in some cases, people are not really getting what they need. Small and micro, although they may not import too much and depend on the other distributors to do it, the distributors themselves has not been getting their allocation they expected to get. So if you don't earn foreign exchange, then it is difficult to supply. And that's the whole analysis. It's a supply and demand. If you don't have the supply and you have a demand, the prices should go up. But what is happening because of the bad economy, you see that black market remains at 750. Some people may ask for 8, but that is not obtainable. And that is as a result of a low and terrible economic state in the country. So
No,
those are the three things that outright you could say,
okay, but Ms. Sade, I want you said the economy has been steadily declining. Now, this is a situation that we would have inherited from the previous government. After I
Yes.
would say 10 years of a decade of mismanaging the economy, right?
Yes.
And I would say that to turn around an economy that was inherited in such a bad state is not going to be done overnight. You know, we have a new government that has been in place now for what, 5, 6 months, right? But it's going to take a lot more than that for us to see any reversal of the declining trends in the economy, right? So that is the point one that I would like to make, right? I want to ask you though, in terms of you said the economy is declining, and I guess you're basing this on the shopping that is taking place for Christmas. Yeah?
Yes, yes. The shopping, and I'll tell you more. I have had reports from the banking sector that that indicated, apart from shopping, the banking sector has shown a massive decline in
Mm-hmm.
loans being taken by the business sector. There are no new loans, and there are no expectation to have loans taken to do any more business, because the businessman is always speculating on an increase in economic activity before he borrows.
Mm-hmm.
Because one must understand, when you borrow, your repayment comes from the business you venture into.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if there's no movement in business, then he's not going to invest.
Okay.
And
All
what
right.
do you do to stimulate an economy, which is important now?
Okay, so if we are speaking about what is needed to be done to stimulate the economy, now, for example, let us say the United National Congress government, they would have reduced the price of super gasoline. And to me, I mean, I drive a vehicle that uses super. And I think that for the consumer, you don't spend as much when you go to the gas station, and there's more money in your pocket. So surely that savings in gas would have translated into some sort of, so you have a bit more money to spend that would generate more economic activity. You might go to the shop and buy a little more, the store and buy a little bit more, more clothing or more groceries or something like that, right? This 10% salary increase that has been promised to the public servants, I mean, that is another initiative, I think, that was intended to boost disposable income and stimulate consumer spending. So I think these are some of the ways that the government is really trying to revitalize the economy, given the challenges that we currently have, right? So that is something I just want to put out there on the table. I don't know if Donnie or yourself would like to make further comments on that.
Well, what I'd like to say is I understand what Mr. Ali is saying, and I agree that in San Juan, your membership would have reported based on that. And I would like to play devil's advocate here, and let's look at it from a contra perspective. With my business, I distribute to supermarkets, and over the last 2 months, we have seen 3 new very large supermarkets. Prasad in Barapur, when I went there last week, it is a multi-million-dollar investment. We see Extra Foods open a new branch as well in South Park, multi-million-dollar investment. Prasad has opened a branch in Tunapuna,
Yes.
another multi-million-dollar investment. And even the smaller supermarkets, there's a little supermarket way down Rock Road in Pina. And I'm not advertising anybody's business. I hold no brief for anyone. The name of the supermarket is Suraj Supermarket. And when I went there 2 weeks ago, if you see the massive compound they opened, and obviously these were supermarkets who would have, saved their money and invested. But they choose now to invest instead of holding their hand and saying, let's wait and see. So on one hand, we are seeing some businesses saying, okay, let's take the cautious approach. And then we are seeing some businesses putting out multi-million-dollar investments. So I think, there is a definite balance. Now, if you were to look at a little bit of historical detail into this, let me put for consideration an equation, right? In 5 years, our food import bill increased by 50%. And we're talking to about $3-point-something billion in excess of what it was. This would have eaten up a lot of Forex. And honestly, 5 years ago, the Forex issue wasn't as bad. But the food import bill was allowed to be increased to this level without any movements in terms of policy by the former government to alleviate that. Now, this happened on the backdrop of decreasing incomes coming from energy. So the government now has inherited a situation where it was negativity compounded, and now we have to get out of the situation. So this is why I also ask, what can we expect from the Business Association for 2026 to assist with their members, and what are the members, considering as options in order to stay afloat, in order to grow, in order to keep staff and stuff like that. And it is in that context, I really wanted to ask this on the backdrop of what was inherited and the structure of what was inherited and how do we go forward. Because I believe it's very easy to say, okay, we have depleted incomes, we have a little bit of this and that and those kinds of things. But how do we move forward in a sustainable and progressive way? And that is what I think, our thoughts should be on. I am the advisor to our business group, and to what they did to alleviate the Forex issue although they are no rich company, they actually invested in a manufacturing facility that is primarily based track exports. And they have reps out there on the export market, and they have now started to generate foreign exchange
So
within
you
their own
see,
business.
you're touching it exactly where it should be. So
Right.
diversification must
Correct.
be
Yeah.
encouraged. And
Right.
if we are only looking to consume, where we have to purchase foreign exchange to consume, we
Hmm.
must look at what we are importing, what we are consuming, and how we could produce it here. And not
Hmm.
just produce it here for our own use, but to even export it out into the Caribbean.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
and we heard about the venture into agriculture or animal husbandry, but has that taken effect? And we must collaborate with the people
Hmm.
who know how to do it. India, China, Australia, even Canada, America, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Hmm.
For mechanized farming to be part and putting shelf life into product, you have a
Right.
simple thing like cucumber selling, retailing at $15 a pound. But if that was really place in the sector where you could control who plant cucumbers and when they plant cucumbers and maintain a shelf life into cucumbers, then you could have cucumbers year round at three,
Hmm.
$4 a pound. And so too with tomato, and so too with cabbage and sweet pepper and cauliflower and all these other vegetables that we need. We look at exotic fruits, which
Hmm.
is something that we could export for the tourist industry.
Yeah.
And that is something that should be encouraged. But you need to incentivize these areas. You need to have duty-free concessions and all that. You need to bring in the startup product and get it going.
I agree. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's where the government must focus in assisting SMEs to get
Right.
involved in that.
Hmm.
When you look at the farmers in agriculture, in the days when the farmer used to say, I don't want my children to become farmers,
Hmm.
they really said they will educate them and get them out of farming.
Yeah.
But they
Hmm.
only knew farming by hand and not
Yes. Hmm.
mechanized farming. So
Hmm.
to move them into the next stage, it needs some incentive to move them to where farming should really be today.
Hmm.
And I mean, you look at fish, you look at shrimp, prawn, all those things, prawns and all those things, tilapia and all that. Those are healthy proteins that should be encouraged to
Yes.
use and to export, as I say. So there is the export product that has to be encouraged to earn foreign exchange and move away from the energy sector. We cannot fully move away from that because it will remain our main foreign
Hmm.
earner. But
Yeah.
if you look at subsidizing the need for travel, look at medical tourism. What has happened to that? Look at education tourism. What has happened to that?
Hmm.
All those things will earn foreign exchange, but I'm not hearing where we can bring the medical that is required from the Caribbean here in Trinidad to get that facility, and we'll earn a lot of foreign exchange. We're not hearing when you bring somebody to do a medical exercise here, you bring the family, you bring the family, and they have to be placed in a hotel and whatever. All those
Hmm.
are foreign exchange earners. So
Yeah.
we
Hmm.
have to
Fully
we
agree.
have to look at the product where we could earn foreign exchange because it is a critical thing that I've been hearing from time and time. I am hearing leaders saying since the CEO from the Exim Bank
Hmm.
has gone that that they should that they should be getting more foreign exchange. And that has not happened. And that has not happened because it is not available.
Hmm.
Foreign
Yeah.
exchange is just not available. So don't expect the government to just get up one morning and say SMEs will get more foreign exchange, or people traveling will get more than $300 from a bank when they're traveling. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen unless the
This
government start to earn or the private sector start to earn foreign exchange.
Yeah, fully agree.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it is going to take time to recover from the decline that we were in, right? There are several initiatives that have to be implemented as well to give us the kind of results we are looking for, right? So I am seeing several members joining us here on Zoom as well as social media. I just want to thank all of you all for coming on. I'm looking at the questions, the comments that are being put on the live. So we're taking note, ladies and gentlemen. So we just discussed the economy with Mr. Ali expressing some concerns about the decline in the economy. And my co-moderator, Mr. Rogers, he did indicate that we are seeing instances of investments being made, particularly with big supermarkets and so on. They are coming into stream, brand new supermarkets, right? I do want to move on though, and maybe we could talk a little bit more about crime because there is a link between crime and economic activity. This is something we've spoken about over and over on the program. Mr. Ali, I want you to tell us from your experience on the ground. Now, we are seeing, and this is fact, that the murder rate in Trinidad is declining. It has declined, according to statistics, by over 40%, close to 50%. Are you seeing that being reflected on the ground?
I'll tell you something. The impact on the reduction of murders is as a result of the present state of emergency, where you have specific persons apprehended under detention orders, and they are persons who were doing nefarious activities and putting a lot of things out there, where you had crime and the murder rate exceeding the expectation. So one is to understand, when you let those guys out, what will happen. And when we look at the present state of how many persons are kept in detention order, and pretty soon you will have the state of emergency coming to an end, what does the authority plan to do with those guys? Are they planning to put matters before the court that could keep them inside? Are they, what's the plan? Is it that they will be let go and allowed to continue what they're doing? And that is why I support what is happening with the intervention with America on our shores. Because if we cannot control our own crime situation, then why not invite people to help us to do so? And it is one of the things that I will say openly. I support the Prime Minister and how she has allowed and accepted the help and support from the American agencies, because we are crying out loud for all the import on drugs and ammunition and human trafficking, and we have not been able to deal with it. And if America can step in and help us, then we can say that is one area that we are very, very, very lucky to have, because the influx of marijuana and cocaine and meth, all those drugs that come in, you hear from time to time how they have dried up. And you will see that the economy in itself, it was a big part of the economy, but then the economy will be refreshed and be allowed to restart without the intervention of these criminal activities in our country. So I would like to say that I support the Prime Minister I support the American government for lending its support here. The radar in Tobago, I don't understand what the cry is about, what a radar does. A radar will put out whatever tracking device will do to tell you when official activities are pending. So if that is what we have and that's the support and help we are getting, I welcome that support. So definitely the drop in murder and that kind of activity is as a result overall is a result overall on what is going on with crime. But we need to know what is the intention with those guys who will soon have to be let out, you know.
Okay, I hear you. Now, I'm just going to take some of the comments and questions that I am seeing here. I am seeing someone speaking about street lights in Equazi. Miss Sally, you know anything about that?
Equacy is well lit.
All right. So somebody made a comment that street lights are not working on Equazi. That's not true.
That's not true. I don't know which Quasi. It's not true.
Okay, well, guys, you heard it from Miss Sally. I don't know. I can't say. But, you know, if Miss Sally says that the lights are working, we can't dispute that. Right, prices are too high in sour. That's another comment I'm seeing.
Well, I'll tell you when Mr. Rogers spoke on the big guns taking over supermarkets. There is a reason why the big guns can have better prices. Well, I'll tell you when and when somebody like Extra Food or Massy Stores or Passad, when they get into the activity of purchasing, and they could purchase large amount of goods, they could then retail it at a cheaper cost. So you will always have the smaller guy selling at a 5-10% more than what
Mm-hmm.
those guys could afford to sell at. So, the convenience of getting your product in your community is what you have to look at. If you have the smaller supermarkets and they are close to you and you could purchase and you pay a few dollars more, then the convenience of purchasing from them is important.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't
Correct.
have to go out, you don't have to face the traffic, you don't have to face the expected bandit that is out there, you within your community. So we encourage community purchasing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I am,
Now,
go ahead.
so one thing for consideration now, with as we speak about the larger supermarkets and the larger entities, what we have noticed, and even when I spoke about the areas in which these supermarkets are coming up now, a multi-million-dollar investment in Barrackpore. And honestly, you have to see it to understand the magnitude of investment. We have another multi-million-dollar investment in Tunapuna. So is it that the traditional shopping areas, people are moving away from that and going into the non-traditional areas that could be more countryside, closer to their home, as in Barrackpore, and spending their money there as compared to going into the towns or the cities and shopping? Is that something that could possibly be taking place? You know, with the investment that you have in more rural areas, can that be a factor in the equation when we look at, the busy area, the traditional areas that people shop a lot? We are not seeing that. Can that be something that is going on as well?
Well, that is a possibility, but I'll tell you, the conglomerates always on the lookout for new investments because
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that is evident with an investor. He will always want to reinvest or
Yeah.
or invest in something else. Unlike the supermarket chains, the other thing that I know is that they are forming themselves into bodies to be able to purchase foreign products from separate entities. So they are forming an enlarged group of persons where they could say, if you have 10 persons who want to get involved in importing goods, whether it is agricultural produce or any other item, they will allow you to import. You get your foreign exchange, you import, and we'll purchase from you. So it is one of the areas that all the conglomerates are looking at to
Mhm.
expand their intake of goods.
Right.
When they themselves may get $100 million to purchase stuff. If you have 10, 15 other persons coming in as agents of that particular supermarket, they will
Mhm.
now be able to import separately. So they give them items to import, and that will happen.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's a structure that they're developing to get more goods to come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like the person's using their credit card. You realize that when foreign exchange was difficult, everybody used their credit
Mhm.
card to purchase.
Yeah.
Now they are using individuals to be able to get allocations and
O-
purchase goods. That is something that is taking place.
Okay.
I don't
Lisha, I
know.
see Alim was asking to be unmuted.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, guys, as Alim has asked, it's 8:45, right? So if anybody does in fact want to make a contribution, you could feel free to raise your hand, if you want to ask a question and so on yourself. There are a couple questions and stuff that have been put on the chat on social media. I will collate those. But in the meantime, if anybody who's on the Zoom, if you guys want to, as I said, ask a question, make a contribution, please raise your hand.
Lisa, you and me?
Yes, I'm hearing
Yes,
you.
Okay.
Alim, we are hearing you loud and clear.
First of all, I want to say how happy I am to be on the show tonight because I must support my president. I want to thank Mr. Ali from taking me back out of retirement and business on all his organization because we both in 1990 was part of the organizational structure of Sama Business. And I feel after 25 years or after the little hiatus I had, I think it's very important for people like us with the experience to come back and work in the Sama community. And as in my capacity as international trade director and well, it's foreign and trade, foreign and trade.
Right.
I've been hearing everything about the expansion of businesses in the both the big chain and the areas. But what I'm seeing is these areas they are densely populated areas where you get good with employment and people in the areas and you have things like that happen. But what is happening? I know and we understand the situation in the country with the military situation, but what I am very perturbed about is that the said people who were in government for 10 years know about diplomacy and protocols and all these international. When you have a country and you have these issues as a government, you cannot be disclosing things from a national security point of view. Foreign affairs, there are things you cannot talk about. I mean, I came from a home of a foreign affairs minister, and there's a lot of things you have to deal with. I know that we are having problems to get foreign exchange and different things, but when one looks at the situation, as Lisha rightly said, we inherited an issue with, and look at it, even the state enterprises now boards are coming into place. It is very difficult even for the boards to function to do things as they want because of the funding. And one of the things I know that they are going to be doing is expanding a lot of things in areas like in agriculture. They are going to do it because I happen to be going on a manufacturing enterprise and everybody is looking at it because we need to do study manufacturing aspect now. And in addition, we need, as Mr. Ali said, we need to study the agritourism, the sports tourism, the
Mhm.
medical
Correct.
tourism, right? Because everybody attacking the government. Cuba Hospital was started because we need the medical tourism, right? And all these expansions the government is trying to we need the investment. I mean, I don't know if you all have seen. Tomorrow, His Excellency the Prime President of Guyana will be addressing the Caribbean, because all television shows tomorrow have been abrupted to take that broadcast live tomorrow. We do know what President Irfan Ali will be talking about, addressing the Caribbean, because they ask in Trinidad we they are going live. So that, and as respect to summer business, one of the intentions we have, Mr. Ali, I must say, people don't know the value of Mr. Ali in this country, but Mr. Ali is a very dynamic person. He's a man with a lot of ideas and innovations. And what we intend to do in summer business this coming year as international trade, I am going to go to the businesses in the area, and we would like them to become part of our organization and work with them and see what is up, because South is an area we have a lot of businesses. I mean, you would know as a sex one, a new mall is going to open over the highway, the IAM mall,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
And that is going to create a lot of stores, etc. So we will be able to go. We are going to tap around the area, and we are also at crime. We have look. We are in our board. We have a very dynamic gentleman by the name of Mr. Dwight Williams. He's our vice president, right? And he's a crime specialist. So in choosing our board, Mr. Ali, in his wisdom and his vision, chose a board with people of experience and expertise. Because we feel like the second day after were brought into office, we had the crime situation with the police giving their plans for the area. So we know what we would like to do, and what I would like to see is like a lot of people talking an organization, but they need to follow. We have done Sound Business Association is the only organization in the Caribbean who has built a police station for the people in the area. Nobody has done it. Right?
Wow.
We lead. You go to the Quasi, the police substation was built. Mr. Ali and I were the brainchild of that. We got a second police station to be built in Barataria. That was the initiative of the Sound Business Association. And now is the time that organization itself, they talk yes and they ask, but you need to do the groundwork too. Come out on the ground. Because I
Hmm.
know it is very frustrating. I mean, I have a business, it has taken a little dive, but I am hoping that once I understand, I hope that the back pay is paid and that some money can flow. There is a slowness in the areas, because I myself went to the mall on Saturday, and all I saw people was walking, not with bags in their hand. They were just walking around, right? So we are hoping that people can some money can flow before it will not will flow, but we can have some things happening in the coming 2 weeks or the week before Christmas. But I want to say that we need to really work together as a team. And Lisha, I must compliment you for this show you're doing, because it goes wide across the country. And I know people listen at different levels, and I know that they will listen to the cries of the people. Right? But we need to take some time. I know we are frustrated with things happening. I mean, it's very discouraging sometimes when you close your business and then your budget your sales is not as what you expect. So, as Donnie said, there is an expansion in these areas, and with the various China groceries and so on. And let us hope in the new year that with all this happening, we should see, we hope that things can work out with the government with some development of foreign investment, because one would see that over the last month, senior ministers have traveled to the Far East, to Bahrain, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and things are happening. It would happen overnight. We have hope. I mean, we were in the dark for 10 years. And as Alicia said, it wouldn't happen overnight. So I must say that I want to compliment everything, and let us try to work together in the coming year. And as we in Sama Business Association is willing and ready to help in every way we can help this economy and the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, Alim, thank you for that. And I just want to say something here for you to mark it in your calendars, right? We spoke about medical tourism. Pay attention on the 15th of January. Pay attention to the news, and you will see a new entity coming up, a new medical facility that hits directly on medical tourism for the region.
Well,
So I can't give too much of details
I'll
now.
tell you something, Donny. What you
Uh-huh.
do know. I am one of the brainchild of medical tourism in Trinidad and Tobago. When I
Right.
sat on the tourist board on the 2010-2015 government,
Uh-huh.
We both the late Dr. Rupert Griffith and myself and the tourist board,
Mhm.
we introduced medical tourism. We introduced sports tourism because we took a delegation to India. And among the people going there was Brian Charles Zara, who went and did exhibitions in India. And we met with two of the largest medical firms, hospitals in India, Fortis and Apollo.
Right.
And they
Yeah, yeah.
came here. They came in and they were the guests of the tourist board in Trinidad and Tobago. And I would tell you
Mhm.
too, if you're passing along the highway in a wrong ways, there is going to be a big 100-bed facility taking place in our area. So
Correct.
medical tourism, sports tourism, and these other forms of tourism is very close to my heart because I was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to support it because it was a journey that I will never forget going to India. And you know, Donnie, you're a honorary citizen of India. The quality of people in India. Even China, I
Yes.
went to China
Mhm.
on my own,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of potential in India and China for these type of things. So you're correct.
Yeah.
I am happy that Kuva Hospital people are making it. That is the reason why the Prime Minister has taken the bold step to start but the Cooper Hospital. But I know for a fact that that piece of land is not empty lands there. Other things will happen on
Correct.
that
Mm-hmm.
complex,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I know that what they will do if we're going to develop tourism, medical tourism. It is obvious we will probably see a hotel there. So when you come to do a medical tourism, you're in a hotel and
I believe
shopping.
I believe the master plan has a hotel there,
Yes,
and we
and I
also have
think
to
a
take into
mall. I think a mall
consideration.
too. There's a mall plan there
Yeah.
too,
Yeah. And
right?
I
So
believe when we look at and I know Mr. Ali spoke
yeah,
about academic tourism,
yeah,
and remember the Prime Minister did indicate that the Debe campus
it's
is
going to
just
open.
for that,
But
where they are looking
let
at
me go. Let us go further. Our doctors, which I read last week, are going to Guyana. That is part of the medical
correct,
tourism
correct, correct,
aspect.
yeah.
So all
Mm-hmm.
the doctors who qualified over the last 10 years and couldn't get a
Mm-hmm.
job, we are now going to export our medical doctors, right? Who will
Yeah.
get an opportunity. Not only Guyana, I am seeing. That is why I'm very anxious to hear what President Irvan has to say tomorrow. It seems
Yes.
to be of
Right.
serious interest to the Caribbean. So
Mhm.
we need to develop. I know it will take some time, but the national transformation, the plan that they launched recently at the diplomatic center, a lot of interest have been generated. I saw Minister John going to Dubai. In fact, I was talking to her
Mm-hmm.
while she was in Dubai, sending messages, right, to contact Trinidadians to meet with her. And when you watch it, I realized she went to the port of Dubai. I was there. I was in Dubai in 2016. So I
Yeah.
know the potential that is there in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
And I am seeing a lot of things happen in the new year, but just we have to wait.
Yes, I
Correct.
agree. Things are happening, right? But it
Yes,
is, as Alim would have said, it's not going to happen overnight. We're not going to see a reversal of the decline that we had over the last 10 years in 6 months or even a year, but things are happening and it will happen. We're
look, see
getting there.
where CPAP look is indirectly started. Employment has started, but
Yes, employment has
right.
started
We
indeed.
commend
Yes.
Minister Khadija Amin. So the government is not sleeping as people talking about. When they're asking
Mm-hmm.
for difference, this opposition, they are shameless. I'm sorry to say it. They're asking things what they didn't do and making
What they
noise.
could not do in
So
10,
and then
in
exactly.
fact, what they could not do in 50, how much years they were
The
in
same
government
thing with
for?
the aeroplane lineman, the United. Their diplomatic information, their security information. I'm even hearing Gary Griffin making a certain noise, right? All of them who held positions before, both in government and private sector, like Gary Griffin and others, they're making endless noise. But and when they were there, they did nothing.
That's the usual
And
thing.
look at let us be honest.
That's the
Look at the
usual
amount.
thing.
Look at the amount of drugs they have found over the last 6 months in this country, right? Look at
Hundreds
the
of millions
drugs,
of dollars.
right? Right. I know. I have a friend who people are investing even down the islands. They're buying properties and they're going to turn it into living and tourism. So people are investing, and you know why people invest in? Down here, I will answer you. You see all these drug things that happening and the drug bust.
Mm-hmm.
Businessmen are getting more confident that they want to invest in. They're seeing things happen. Our new police commissioner, I commend him. I publicly commend him for the job that
Mm-hmm.
he's doing. Everybody is working. It's only the opposition every day, like empty vessels, making noise. What they didn't do.
Well,
right?
Ali,
And I
like you're on
compliment.
fire tonight, boy. You're on
Yes,
fire.
you know why? I feel very sorry. I feel very sorry for our prime minister. She does not deserve the criticism that she's getting in this country, and I want to compliment her, and I stand 100% behind her in whatever she's doing. Let's talk. She's not talking. I know she's not. She has reason for not talking, right? So this is what I want. I see this country. I see this country going forward ahead. It's going ahead, but it takes time. 6 months, I think we did beyond good.
And we will continue discussing the progress. You know, every week we meet, we have this program. We'll talk about the progress, steps of progress that are being taken. Right? I
Mhm.
am seeing now, guys, it is 8:58 doing a time check. So we normally close up, depending on how the conversation is going, around 9:30, right? But if there's anybody who would like to ask a question, make a contribution, please feel free to raise your hand. I am seeing some comments here. Someone is talking about if there's no nightlife, the economy is going to be hindered. The decrease in murders and serious crimes would give the public confidence in the national security apparatus and then venture out of their self-incurred cages. All right. So I think what this person is trying to say is that once there is a decrease in crime, people are going to come out and that's going to boost the
Mhm.
nightlife.
Hmm.
And once there's a boost in nightlife, that is going to have a positive impact on the economy. I think this is what this point is about, right? Let me see, anything else? Okay, street dwellers. Miss Sally, this is a question for you. What is the plan for street dwellers? And this is from Marlon Matura. Marlon, thank you for coming on the program.
So let me tell you, when I came into office in November, one of the things that we put on the table is particularly to deal with this street dwelling. What we have recognized in San Juan is that everyone from Port of Spain and the environs that is around us has converged onto San Juan. If you look at around the promenade, the Parity bus route, you'll see on evenings and Sunday mornings, it is overtaken by street dwellers. Now, we have written letters to the Ministry of National Security, the Ministry of Social Development, and we have asked even our own MP to look into that and to see how we, as an association, can support and help in alleviating that situation. I'll tell you something further on that. We have recognized that our fire station in
Correct.
San Juan has been removed. And I am one of the persons lobbying for the fire station to be relocated. So just last week, I spoke to my MP and I tell him that San Juan Business Association, just as we built a police station, we can now build a fire station for the San Juan community and for the country at large. So it is a challenge that I put to him. Give us the land and we will build and equip the fire station. So that is one of the things that we will do. We are not just talking. We have suggestions for our area. When we look at the flooding on the Eastern Main Road, I met with Minister John together with the MP Saddam Hussein, and I did tell her there are certain areas that you could open up the waterways to allow the free flow of water to alleviate that flooding on the Eastern Main Road. Whenever rain falls in a small amount, you get flooding all around the banking area.
Mhm.
So that is something we are looking at helping. So we are actively involved in solutions and not just complaining. All the traffic inflows into San Juan. We have made suggestions on how to make some streets one way and some streets no parking on alternative days. And that is to cause free flow of the traffic. So you look at Arangwes, you look at El Socorro, and you look at all the streets in between. People come off the highway and use 12th Street and they go right up. So you want a filtration throughout. And when you turn some streets one way, then you take the flow, make it easier for traffic to flow east into the area where they may be going all up Trinity, all about. So we are active in making suggestions to the government in how we can alleviate some of those things. I am looking at getting our fire station on the Uriah Butler. If we get a fire station on the Uriah Butler highway, then they will have access to the priority bus route to go straight into Barataria, or they could take the highway and go straight into El Sicuro
Around.
around West South, and then they could take the Eastern Main Road and do the northern part of San Juan. Instead of putting them in a area where they have difficulty in exiting, you put them where they have easy access throughout the community.
Yeah.
And I have been talking to some business people who will come on board with us to build, to maybe do the plans and fabricate all the steel work and get things done. So it is something in the new year that I'm hoping to have as one of our major projects to get that fire station off the ground. When we look at what is happening with the street dwellers, and they are a hazard, a health hazard to the entire community because they defecate, they do everything on the street. So we are asking the authorities to get homes for them, get homes where you could take them off the street and take care of them. So we have consultations taking place at this point.
Mr. Ali, may I interject? I know we wrote the Minister of Social Development on that issue, right?
Yes, we did.
Right.
So those things we sent out letters to the traffic management, which is the traffic.
Eliza Kur, Minister
Eliza
Zakur.
Kur, who is the minister. Yes, he's the minister that will deal with that. So we have indicated, and I saw him just on Saturday night, and I remind him that we have to come and see him and have a discussion on easing our traffic burdens in the area. So yes, so we are active in dealing with some of the problems, not just the business community, but the entire community at large, because our motto in San Juan is community development through business. And we think with a healthy community, we will have better and healthier businesses. So we are always active with our community.
Well, one thing I want to say, Donnie, and I think it will be one of the things I have in mind for the new year as trade and international. I'm looking at discussing my president, but we have to take it. We would like to do something like TIC in the Sawa area because we have a number of businesses in our area, and we've seen that courts when they open recently, they are going to put up a mall on the highway. So things are happening. Things are happening. Courts coming with a mall. So in summer now, we'll have almost 3 malls in our area. So you see, there's a lot of development taking place in the Samoa community, and we are supporting all these ventures. So we are not a sleeping organization. We on the go. Masali and I, he would know it. We talk all the time. We don't allow nothing to pass us, and we are on the move in everything we're doing. You know.
Yeah. Now,
that is great. Go ahead, Donnie.
Now,
Go ahead.
I mean, I have to commend you, Mr. Ali and Aline, because you are not just coming up with suggestions. The business community is putting their money where their mouth is. Because for a business association to come up and say, give us the land, we will build the fire station for you. I have not heard that from any business association.
All it is
yet
complain.
today.
Complain.
And you all have to be commended for that position. It is a first, and it is definitely worthy of public commendation for your position on that and your leadership of the association to not just propose but to put your money where your mouth is. So congratulations. to you and your board and your executive team on that. It is something that is unheard of, but this is where we need to be in this country. It is not about talking, it is not about complaining. We need to even go further from coming up with the solutions and try to implement as practical as possible, you know. So you all have to be commended for that.
Well,
Lisha, you wanted to say something.
Donnie, you took the words out of my mouth. I was so impressed with that. I mean, that
Yeah.
the Business Association is actually willing to take on the project of building and equipping the fire station.
Mhm.
I mean, that's very, very impressive. And, the government cannot, let's be realistic, the government cannot do everything. NGOs and civil society as a whole has an important part to play. And Donnie, as you would have said, it's not just about complaining, complaining and wanting somebody else to fix it. It's about everyone stepping forward with practical solutions and being willing to help to implement these solutions. So again, I really, really want to commend the Sawa Business Association, and knowing some of the people involved on the board, I expect great things from you all.
Mhm.
Because I know some of you all personally, I know your abilities and your backgrounds and whatnot. So I certainly expect a lot out of this business
You see,
association.
Alicia, one of the things, this is why I said, in my capacity, I am going to look at all the business places. We'll go in groups, we'll go and meet these people. We want them to join and we want them to be part of. It's not
Mm-hmm.
only say, I want to get a firearm, I want to be honest with you. The first thing they say, I could get a firearm. I mean, Misali knows about, but we want to help everybody, but let us be part of one family. It's just not
Mhm.
just take a membership, and we want to work with everybody.
Yeah.
I am going from the small shop too, not only the big store. No, it's a small shop all over the place. Everybody want them to be part of it.
Yeah, yeah. I do hope you all come back in the program. Like maybe every 3 months or so, give us a little update as to what's happening in Sawa. What are some of the things you all are doing, how the progress has been and whatnot.
Well,
If that's
so far
possible, we'd love to have you all on the program.
within the last month, we have done 3 projects already. On Saturday, we distributed toys for over 1,200 pieces of toys to children. Right, we are having a dinner next Saturday coming, and we have a lot of things planned. We are doing projects already. We are solving problems already. Right, so we just like the government. Now came into office, but we are working.
Yeah, yeah. And I will tell you what, I am getting more and more familiar with NGOs, and I'm amazed at the kind of work, the kind of
Mhm.
productivity that's coming out of these NGOs. So as I said, it's not up to just the government alone. The government cannot do everything. NGOs and civil society as a whole, we have a very important part to play, right? And one of the things I hope that we could do on this program is to showcase more NGOs and the work that they are doing, because it's mind blowing to me. Some of the things that I'm seeing small little groups of people do. You're
Mhm.
talking small little groups of people just getting together, but they're getting things done, to a certain extent, even at a more impressive scale than government. So we must never underestimate the ability of our people and what can be achieved when we work together. Everything is not government, 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 right? So it is now 9:11. So I'm going to ask again. We have a few more minutes left. If there's anybody else who would like to make any contribution, ask any questions.
I'm not
Now
hearing
would be the time.
Trinity the Bone. I'm not hearing him.
Cathcart is also online with us, right? But my question to you all, which you all sort of already answered, is what were some of the ideas and projects and so on you all have, the Sour Business Association, that you all would have had for the coming year, right? Which you more or less kind of got into already, right? So that would have been my very next question.
Lisa, I'll tell you, we have a project that is close to my heart where we want to start an entrepreneurial program to get all the 18-year-olds in the country who are willing and want to become business people. So we want to get an entrepreneurial program where we will teach them on all the important areas of how do you become a business person. and that I'm hoping to kick that off very soon in the new year.
Okay. All
I have
right.
a board with a lot of young people, and I know they will be able to attract the younger folks and get them involved. So who want to get into business, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's agriculture, whether it is opening a shop, whatever it is, we going to help you in that area, how to start it up, how to get a loan, how to register your business. So those are the things that we want to roll out. And once we buy into the government activity and once they lend us support, we will go a long way. It is my dream to really get that entrepreneurial program on the way. Because I know a lot of young people who are not taking education to the fullest, but they will like to become business people.
Mm-hmm.
And the know-how and the wherewithal, we will teach them the skills. All your
Well,
sixth formers and all your, we will take like the business class from the St. George's College and
Correct. Nice
and
school.
use that program, use that initiative there and kick started from there.
and Mr. Ali, I want to offer our platform if we could be of any assistance to you all, even if it's just to promote or whatever, we will be happy to help.
Thanks.
Right? So, I mean, Ali is in contact with us all the time, yourself as well, whatever we can do to assist. The
Mhm.
Yes.
platform here is available.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And that is when you call today, whenever you call and you ask me, I'll come on because listen, you could only grow your country when you play a part. If you want to
Exactly.
stay back and do nothing and complain, then don't look out for anything to improve.
Mhm.
All right, so a couple more comments. I'm seeing here good analysis of what is needed in the area and Sawa. Right, so you're getting some kudos there. Opposition loves commerce, so ignore them. We totally agree. Lower crimes is important to attract investors. Totally agree. Let me see if there's anything else. Donnie, anything else on your end?
No, I think Mr. Ali was very, very comprehensive. Um, Again, I am still amazed with the position of the association. Um, but I think that in general, and this is my personal opinion, that we are seeing a movement away from the traditional shopping areas. And we are seeing that movement towards the non-traditional areas that have been developed. Now, if you look at a large supermarket going on the outskirts of both Marabella and San Fernando, away from the malls and stuff like that, easy access. You look at a large supermarket in Barrackpore. Look at where Passage is in Turapuna, close to the Mokoya Road, where the exit is easy. You are seeing these competitive changes coming into the landscape. And it is my opinion that you will see the competitive investments that are coming in now and that are occurring will have an impact on the traditional areas of shopping and the traditional areas of business. But as business people, we are all very dynamic by nature, and we're not going to let our businesses run down the road. We will come up with innovative ways to survive, innovative ways to ensure business continuity and business activity. And at the end of the day, it will level off and everything will, kind of go back to where it was. So competition is a good thing because obviously it's an open market, it's a free economy. Competition is good. And these are things that we will see when competition occurs. We will see shifts in norms. We will see variances to what is considered as the standard protocol, you know. But
But
then,
Mr. Rogers, I'll tell you,
Right.
Evolution is
No, please
something
call
that,
me Donnie, please. You know?
well, Donnie, I'll tell you, evolution is always happening, and it will always, the
Yeah.
universe,
Mm-hmm.
the cosmos
Yeah.
relies on evolution. It spins off.
Mm-hmm.
And so too is business. I
Yeah.
remember when the movie tongue era started, a lot of
Right.
people said, how can you put 10 cinemas in one spot? How
Mm-hmm.
would that really work? Would it be lucrative to have 10 cinemas? And it
Mm-hmm.
happened because it's
Yeah.
an experience for the
Yeah.
clientele. And
Yeah.
when you look
Mm-hmm.
at the revolutionizing of the cinema business with the sound and the projection and the seating and all that, and then you have the safety of the compound, all
Mm-hmm.
those things lend itself to
Yeah.
that type of business flourishing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you must understand that the economy will always have three or four sets of people that resides. And when you look at the persons who are monthly paid or well-to-do, it is easier for them to go to the bigger shopping centers and
Mm-hmm.
enjoy a huge supermarket because it's an experience to go into a huge supermarket. But there will always be a sector that can't afford to go there regularly, and they
Right.
will depend
Correct.
on staying within their communities. But it
Mm-hmm.
does not mean that those businesses there will stay stagnated. They
Correct.
must improve their business. They
Mm-hmm.
must improve their standard. They must give proper service. And in doing
Mm-hmm.
that, they will keep their clientele because
Yeah.
I will tell you, even long before you had the upswing on the malls and all that, businesses throughout did extremely well. But when you look
Mm-hmm.
at when these malls came out, you had a growth in the economy that also took effect. You had the
Mm-hmm.
growth in the economy, but the growth in the population as well. So
Correct.
Donnie, let me say something. Mr.
Sure.
Ali's look at Elsico. You know there's a call over the highway, Carney Swamp, right? When
Yes.
you're coming
Yeah.
down. Look at it now. You have extra foods with a mall. IAM put up a mall. There Derek Chin has put his headquarters for his business right there,
Yes.
amalgamated.
Mm-hmm.
Then a relative of mine have opened up a place called Garden Court. It's food places.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ali, look, Mr. Ali is converting a building into a mall too. So you think
Nice.
about it, things are happening. El Sikoro is not Osama, it's not the days of it. This is why, as Mr. Ali say, everybody decentralizing. I will, people don't want to go in town again. They're in the
Mm-hmm.
areas.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
that is why we say, what we're doing here is important. And that is why we in Sama business have used, in addition to developing business, SFC about the crime situation in our community,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
is important. And we can't always depend on the government. We have to work with everybody. Well,
Fully agree with that.
what is happening in this country, and I said years ago, everybody, including the business. I make no I'm not attacking, but a lot of the business associations, they talk a lot and don't do. Look at someone. When we said we want to deal with crime, Mr. Ali and I said we're going to build a police station, we do it. Right? Others must take some
Mm-hmm.
part and do some work on the ground. By the way, the Prime Minister delivered 15 jeeps last week. We delivered
Yes.
five. We fixed jeeps for the police and so on, because we
Nice
saw the
man.
importance of
Right.
of the police
Mm-hmm.
wanting a jeep to move around the area. So
Yeah.
we are in the
Yeah.
we working with the government, and this is why we want to see the same thing happen. And and the amount, and when I think in about the next 6 months, you will not see an empty spot over the highway, which is called Carney Shop. Every area now is being built up. Every
Yeah.
area,
Mm-hmm.
Donnie,
right?
I will
So
go further. I had a discussion with the regional corporation in San Juan, where we
Right.
wanted some streets desilted. And they're telling me their backhoe is down because of tires and minor repairs. And I told them, we will fix it.
Yeah.
We
Mm-hmm.
will we will get your tires, but we want you to dedicate those equipment into
Yeah.
clearing all the debris and all the silt from the drains that cause flooding over the highway. So that is
Mm-hmm.
something I've not made public, but I have just pledged my support to
Right.
the chairman of the regional corporation to have those equipment repaired
And we need all
and,
the
and
estimates.
roadworthy.
Um,
Nice,
and
nice.
we have asked the corporation to send us a list of each piece of equipment, the needs and wants, because we're going to
Mhm.
corporate business. So donate if it's two tires or to this or to we want corporate business. You want your place fixed. Help, we will help you fix it in, but help fix us too. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, well, you have places like FT Fafa and things like that in your
All
district, you know.
we're
So,
working with
you know,
everybody.
yeah, yeah. No, that's wonderful. I think as a business group that you all put the meaning into progress.
Yes.
And it I don't think I could put it better, Ali and Mr. Ali. I don't think I could put it better. You know, and Lisha, I met Mr. Ali some years ago, and here how I met him. The Agricultural Society did not get the funds to host its constitutionally mandated election and AGM, and in which we would pay somebody to come in and run the elections and things like that. And Mr. Ali, in his other profession, came in and provided that service free. And that is when I first met him a couple of years ago. And I commended him on this program when he came on, and I'll do so again. And from the person who I met then, who is willing to give of himself, you are seeing that now as the head of the Business
And he's
Association.
one of the
So,
most senior GPs in Trinidad. Eh?
well, that was the profession I was leading
Right.
to. Yeah. So, Mr. Relation again,
Yeah.
I think your ship is, we are, if I could use the word,
Excellent.
Yes.
Guys, sorry to do this, but time check. It is 9:24. So, very, very good program, but we are going to have to wrap up. I do want to
Yes.
read a couple comments here, before we wrap up. Lily, thank you for coming on the program. And Lily says this is a great platform for sharing information and opportunities to rebuild our country. Congratulations, Lisha and Donnie. Thank you so much for that, Lily. But I want to say we
Thank
just
you.
posted the majority of the ideas and so on really come from the panelists. But thank you so much. And Kazraj spoke about the export of marijuana for medical use,
Mhm.
right? Kazraj, you see that? That would be a whole different program, right? Talking about marijuana and its possible benefits, because we do look at it just as a dangerous drug. You get it, you seize it, you destroy it.
But
But
there
yes,
is a very high economic benefit for it once you look at the proper strains and stuff like that. Sorry, that's the agriculture side and me talking there. So
That's the
let's not.
agriculture side.
okay, well, I want to ask Mr. Ali if he has any closing remarks for us.
Well, my closing remark is to get every business in San Juan to collaborate with us,
And to
Right.
be
to, sup-
members.
to support us. We have good plans for San Juan, and with you, we will move forward. We'll move San Juan to a place that people will want to reside and will want to remain and shop within the business sector. So let's
Mhm.
keep our businesses in place and intact. Let's look out for our community.
Good, good. Alim, anything you'd like to say in
Donnie,
closing?
I want to thank everybody and I want to say that now is a festive season. I want to wish the entire community all the best. Christmas is a very special day for me because that is the day my parents decided to have a child born on that day, you know. So,
We
Yes, we know
remember,
it's your birthday,
yes,
Alim.
Ali,
yes,
we remember. We
yeah.
remember
So,
that.
but I want to say we are like Mr. Ali. Once the people in the San Juan community is willing to work, we are willing to work with them to make everybody better. It will not happen overnight, but cooperate with us because we want to
Mhm.
make everybody business successful, right? And we are there for you. We're not only thinking about the monetary, looking at crime at different areas, the environment, the whole structure, the health sector. In fact, I saw that they put St. Joseph health center as a 24-hour. I am going to
Yeah,
ask Dr. Bodo to make El Cora 24-hour health center too because we need
nice.
that too. And he too, Dr. Bodo, I must compliment him for the work he and Rishi is doing as ministers. And as I say, everything rolling off
Yes, yes,
slowly
yes.
but surely, slowly but surely. I want to thank you again for appearing on the show.
All right, Donnie, over to you.
Well, congratulations to the San Juan Business Association. Your team and your leadership has proven itself in just the short period of time in which you guys have been there for. I think that many great things are going to happen in 2026 for you guys and for the San Juan business area and community. Merry Christmas, everyone. Keep safe. We're looking forward to many new shows. We have some great shows lined up for you all, and we're looking forward to having you all again in 2026 and beyond. Thank you for 2025. Thank you for being here with us, for supporting us, and for giving us the content to deliver to Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you to my co-moderator, Mr. Donnie Rogers. Now, in closing, I just want to say I am so impressed with some of the things that I heard tonight from the Sour Business Association. I want to sincerely thank the president, Mr. Abraham Ali, and also your international trade director, Mr. Alimuddin Mohammed, for coming on the program. They always come whenever we ask. I will say that they always come. So thank you for coming on the program and sharing your knowledge with us, your insights, and some of the exciting plans you will have moving forward. Now, this has been our last program for 2025. I want to sincerely thank all of you who have supported this program. This is the third year of the program. We actually completed, I think this is our 29th episode for this year, and we did take a fairly long break during the election period because we were campaigning, right? So even with that, we still managed to get 29 programs done this year. So I want to say thanks to that, to all our panelists, our viewers, our commentators. The chat often is like a program by itself. When you go and you read all the comments on the chat, right? But all of you all who come, who view the program, be it on social media, who join the Zoom, who leave your comments and who sends us questions, and so as members of the media who join us, thank you all so much. It's because of you that this program keeps going week after week, and we will certainly be continuing next year with season 4. Yes, we've actually reached season 4.
Yep.
So as we celebrate Christmas, the Christmas season, we would like to wish you and your families peace, joy, good health, and prosperity as we look forward to the new year. Good night, folks. Stay safe. We will see you all bright and early in January 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisha.
You all take care, guys. Thank you again. All the best.
Yes.